Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Drive. I have a super fun pair of ears for you today. I'm going to get this shared into my group, my Becoming Unlimited Facebook group really quick. And then I'm going to show you some super fun ears. So do me a favor and say, hey, when you hop on, because I am super excited to show you these ears. Y'all, look at these ears. Oh my God, I can't handle it. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Drive. I'm going to talk about these ears because look at how cute they are. If you are new here, I got LASIK surgery a few months ago, and one of the reasons that I got LASIK surgery is because when I started to collect Mickey ears, I realized that they weren't very comfortable to wear with glasses. So I got LASIK, and I've been showing y'all all of the different ears that I have. So these are the ears to show you for today. Look at how cute. They're like gingerbread cookies, but they're Mickey and Minnie and the little candy bow in the middle. Like, how stinking cute. These are from my mother-in-law, I'm pretty sure. But you guys, these are the last pair of ears that are hanging up around our living room. I have a few more pairs that we haven't hung up just yet to show you. So a few more, but then there's no more ears for me to show you. So let me know what other things you would like to see. We have popcorn buckets, we have cups, we have mugs, we have Zoom Zooms, we have like all kinds of Disney stuff. And by popcorn buckets, I mean like the regular ones and the like special, I'm looking right here because they're all hanging right here, the special like shaped ones and whatever. So let me know what y'all want to see. But these are the last pair of ears that I have hanging up. I've got a couple more pairs that we haven't hung up yet to show y'all, but these are so cute. Little bow, it's a little gingerbread cookie, Mickey and Minnie, and I am obsessed with them. I love them. These are one of my favorite pairs. So again, y'all say hey when you get on. Just showing y'all all of my ears. I have a few more pairs, and then I don't know what else to show y'all. We'll just be back to the regular Daily Drive. So welcome to the Daily Drive. Again, if you're new here, this is just something that I created to kind of help me stay in control of my mind when I started to explore what I could do to be in control of my anxiety. I was diagnosed with anxiety in 2010 and just kind of lived as the victim of that anxiety for a long time. And when I started to realize and learn and research and find the things that I could do to stay in control of my mind, even while living with anxiety and taking medicine, I take 60 milligrams of Cymbalta a day for my anxiety. I am pro doing whatever works for you, and that works for me, plus a lot of other things that we talk about here on the Daily Drive. So intentional thinking, goal setting, and expressing gratitude were the things that I found to be the most important when I'm thinking about mind control. Intentional thinking just helps you stay grounded in what your purpose is and where you want to go. Goal setting just kind of gives you that roadmap to look at, get you back on focus throughout the day. And on the Daily Drive, we are setting daily, small step, tangible, achievable goals. This isn't the place for your big, overall goal. This is the place where you break that down into your daily steps so that we can cross it off. And then gratitude, because gratitude is literally and physically a super important part to changing your mindset and being in control of your mind. It's so important, in fact, that we talk about it every Wednesday on the Daily Drive, and today is going to be no different, and I am super excited with what I am bringing you to think about for today. One of my favorite things to do now that I kind of have learned ways to be in control of my anxiety is just to keep learning ways to be in control of my anxiety and to keep making new realizations and to keep bringing new things and new ways of thinking, because bringing new ways of thinking is how you unlimit your mind. We have had placed upon us, we've, created and allowed to fester, whatever you want to call it, limiting beliefs in our minds over our lifetime. It's, neither here nor there. It's not necessarily anyone's fault unless you've been through, some sort of traumatic situations. But we just have limiting things in our mind, in our brain work. And so that's what I'm helping you to think about differently. I want you to become unlimited in the sense that you're breaking down those barriers in your mind. And one of the most important, one of the best tools that you can use for your anxiety is gratitude. And so that's why we talk about it every single Wednesday, and that's what we're going to get into. So y'all say, hey, when you get on, let me know that you're here. Give me a hashtag gratitude, hashtag Gratitude Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. Let me know that you're watching. I want to show you these ears close up again because I am obsessed with them. They're like little gingerbread cookies. They have little, white icing, I guess it's supposed to be, stripes down the side, and I just love them. They're so cute. Little gingerbread cookies. I'm pretty sure these are from my mother-in-law. She'll let me know when she sees this. But I love them, and I love all of my ears. Again, I've only got a couple more pairs left to show y'all of ears. So anyway, let's get to the gratitude, right? Because that's what we're here for. It's Wednesday, Gratitude Wednesday. Gratitude is so important for your mind control process. When you think about gratitude, when you do any sort of gratitude practice, journaling, the daily drive gratitude section, if you followed for a little bit, maybe you've seen my gratitude silos, which I drop in the comments on Wednesdays. This gives you specific areas of your life to express gratitude for and fill up, kind of like a reserve for when you need to, look back and remember what to be grateful for. But when you do any kind of gratitude practice, telling someone why you're grateful for them, telling yourself why you're grateful for yourself, any sort of gratitude practice, you are releasing hormones into your body. And the hormones that you're releasing into your body are associated with the feelings of calm, the feelings of bliss, and the feelings of joy. So when you're releasing those hormones into your body as a daily practice, as an all the time, all throughout the day practice, you're setting yourself up almost in advance to be able to handle things, to be able to just deal with life a little bit easier, to be able to understand a little bit better, when things come towards you, to be able to react differently, right? Maybe you are a reactive person. I'm a reactive person. If you know me, I am a reactive person a lot of the time. If you're my family, you've probably been yelled at, and I'm a reactive person. And so I've really worked on using gratitude and being in that mindset already so that my reaction is a little bit, different, is a little bit better, right? So maybe you're a reactive person, but the more you are thinking about gratitude and making it an all the time practice, y'all, all the time. I promise you it is my go-to when I realize that I need to change my thinking. Because remember, you have to become aware. You get to become aware of your thoughts first in order to take control of them. But when you're thinking about gratitude, you're releasing all of those good hormones into your body. And so it's just allowing you to handle things differently, to be happier, to have a more positive life, to, again, like I said, react differently, right? Gratitude allows me to take a second and stop. If you think that I am like shutting down for a second, I'm thinking about gratitude so that I can redirect and come to this in the right way, right? So what I want to talk to you about today is something that, if you know me and you followed this, you know that I love my documentaries. I love murder documentaries, prison documentaries. Waco is like my favorite thing to watch right now. I'm obsessed with Scientology and Leah Remini. I was house sitting last week and watched the whole thing while I was there, and I started it over yesterday when I got back home and got back to like my me space, right? And so I love documentaries. I find that it helps me expand my mind. It helps me learn something new or maybe understand a situation differently because most of the time in school, we probably weren't shown the whole, situation. We were given the history that people wanted us to know, right? And so it allows me maybe to learn something new about something that I, knew about already, but didn't see the whole story maybe, right? And so I love documentaries. And one of the things that happens, I see this all the time in documentaries. We do it. I've done it. We have been conditioned to do this from the time we are young to the time and when I say we, I say that generally because I was fortunate enough to grow up with parents. I got to give my parents a quick shout out. I was fortunate enough to grow up with parents that allowed us to be emotional and to work through things. And so when I say we, I say that generally because the inability to work through emotional things didn't come as a result of childhood for me. It came as a result of, you know, being an adult and whatever. So we've been conditioned to do this, whether it is from a child to working somewhere to just life experiences. We've been conditioned to do this, and I see it all the time on documentaries that I'm watching, on shows where someone is being interviewed, on you know, things on YouTube, whatever it is that I'm watching lately. Obviously, it's been the documentaries. And when someone has been sad, when someone's been angry, when they've been passionate about what they're talking about, when they get emotional. And again, I've done it too. You've probably seen me do it here on the Daily Drive. I know that you have done it, but here's what we do. Here's what we've been conditioned to do when we have some type of emotion about something and then we're expressing that emotion. The way that I see it the most in documentaries is with like sadness, and someone is reliving an event that they've been through, right? And it elicits emotions that are sad. And so they start to cry while they're being interviewed. They're getting teary-eyed and they're wiping their eyes. And again, I've done it. I'm not saying, you know, that I am above anyone else because I've done it too. I get passionate about what I'm talking about. Our first go-to that we've been conditioned to do is this. When we get emotional, we're explaining something, we're telling our story, and we start to get sad. We start to get happy emotions. We start to cry. We start to show emotion, and here's our first reaction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our first reaction is to apologize for the emotion that we're feeling, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, because I've done it. I know I have. You've probably seen me do it here on the Daily Drive. If on the rare chance you see me get emotional on here, usually the energy behind my passion of what I'm speaking allows me to work through the emotional parts without crying. But I've done it, right? That is our first reaction, our first instinct, sorry, I felt something on my arm. Our first go-to when we are reacting to something, when we're showing emotion, is I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's to apologize. It's to apologize for our sadness, for our anger, for our passion, for our tears, for our whatever, for our happiness, right? Tears aren't always an expression of sadness. I cry when I'm angry. Have you ever been angry enough that you've cried? Give me a 2 in the chat if you've ever been angry enough that you've cried. I have been angry enough that I've cried, and it's maybe been mistaken as sadness, but I assure you I was angry, right? We get emotional, we get sad, we get angry, we get passionate, we get happy, and our first go-to when we show that emotion, when tears come out, when there's an expression of that, is to apologize for it. It's to say, I'm sorry. But what I'm telling you, what I want you to know, is that you don't have to apologize for your emotions. You don't have to apologize for your emotions. That's where we start to have the anxiety, because we feel like our emotions and then our reactions, our expressions of our emotions have to fit into this box, right? Anxiety comes when we're trying to fit everything into these little brain boxes. And we do that with emotion too. We feel like I can't show sadness right now, so I need to put it into this box and apologize for it. Or I can't show anger right now. I'm going to offend someone, and so I have to apologize for it and put it into this little box. I can't shed a tear about this right now. I have to apologize for it and put it into this little box, right? And what happens? That makes us feel anxious. That makes us feel stress. That makes us feel all of those negative things and those negative hormones. Just like positive things release hormones into your body, negative things do too. And when we're putting all of those things and putting all of our emotions into those boxes, that's what we're doing to our body. So part of becoming unlimited, part of what I want to share with you is that breaking down those boxes in your mind is what helps you move past anxiety. So you don't have to apologize for your emotions. You get to acknowledge your emotions rather than trying to box them up, rather than trying to put it in a little box because someone has told you that when you're sad, you're supposed to cry. Or when you're sad, you're not supposed to show that. When you feel passionate about something, you're not supposed to show that. Someone's told you that along the way. And so now you're putting it into that box. Unlimit that box. Unpackage that box. Smash that box. Let that box go. You are allowed to have and to feel your emotions. We're human beings. We have emotions. We have feelings, right? You're allowed to have those feelings. You're allowed to acknowledge those feelings rather than put it into the I'm sorry box, right? That's always our first go-to when we feel some type of emotion or when we are expressing that emotion, is to put it in the I'm sorry box, to apologize for crying, to apologize for being angry. But you don't have to apologize for your emotions. You can acknowledge your emotions and you can show gratitude for those emotions. So what helps me redirect my thoughts, maybe when I'm feeling sad or when I'm feeling angry about something, is to acknowledge those feelings by expressing gratitude. So I am telling myself, I am grateful that I'm allowed to feel sad right now about this. I'm grateful that maybe I'm looking at a photo of my grandparents and remembering a happy time, and it makes me, shed a little bit of a happy tear, right? I don't have to stuff that away. I'm grateful that I can have this moment of emotion and this memory, because that is how things are all linked together, right? Our memories are connected to our emotions. And when we're trying to stuff those emotions into that box, we're continuing that anxiety cycle. So you don't have to apologize for your emotions. You don't have to feel bad for your emotions. Now, I do want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer. The reason that I use gratitude to acknowledge my emotion is because that allows me to be in control of the reactive part, right? Because let's say you're angry about something, right? And your first go-to when you're angry about something is to be reactive, is to, yell, to throw something, to scream, to, maybe you have road rage. I have road rage. If you've ever ridden in the car with me, I have road rage, okay? And so maybe your first reaction is like to scream at someone, right? Like yell at someone. What I want you to know is that the reason gratitude is my go-to is to help me stay in control of that reaction. So my go-to now while I'm driving and I feel like I want to scream at someone is to redirect that thought with gratitude. I'm grateful that I am here in this time right now. I'm grateful that I have this car that I can get me to wherever I'm going. I'm grateful that I am aware of my surroundings enough that I can be in control of myself, right? So I'm not telling you to, go and scream at everyone because the Daily Drive told you to feel your emotions. What I'm saying is that gratitude helps you feel and acknowledge your emotions without stuffing it into that box while being in control of that reactive part, right? So now when I'm driving or when I'm doing something and I get angry, my first go-to is just to kind of breathe it out and to remember gratitude, to redirect my mind with gratitude. And again, whether I'm driving, if I'm driving down the road, I can still be aware of my surroundings. And even I talk out loud while I'm driving and I say, I am grateful for the ability to drive. I'm grateful for my car. I am grateful for the road that I am driving on, right? Because that's going to redirect that reaction, right? So I'm not telling you it's okay to feel your emotions and scream at everybody when you're mad. What I'm telling you is that it's okay to feel your emotions. You don't have to apologize for your emotions. You don't have to apologize for the way they may be expressed, maybe with tears or with anger or whatever. You get to stay in control of that with gratitude. So acknowledge those feelings, acknowledge that emotion. Don't apologize because something made you sad. That's the number one thing that I see when I watch documentaries, right? Because one of the main things is that they're always interviewing people. And inevitably, someone's going to be sad about something. And their first reaction as they're reliving a sad event that elicits tears because it's a sad event is to apologize for crying. And that makes me sad that they feel that they have to apologize for their emotions. So don't feel like you have to apologize for your emotions. Don't feel like you have to put those emotions into some box. Unlimit that box. Allow yourself to acknowledge those emotions rather than box them up, and then express gratitude to redirect your mind and stay in control of your reaction to that. Because again, we're talking about sadness, anger, passion. Y'all see me get worked up on here. I don't need to apologize for that, right? But I also don't need to like scream and yell and right, be extra, right? So I'm thinking about a billion things in my mind while I'm talking to you. I'm thinking, like, I don't even know how to explain the different layers of our brains, because I'm thinking about gratitude that I'm here and I get to bring this to you. I'm thinking about my notes and the next thing that I'm going to say, and I'm talking to you and thinking about what I'm saying, right? And so there's so many layers to our brains, and you can be in control of that. And the easiest way for me that I have found while living with anxiety is to really make it an intentional point to turn to gratitude when I feel emotions and things and reactions coming up. So you're allowed to feel your emotions. You don't have to apologize or say that you're sorry for your feelings. You can feel those feelings, unbox them, acknowledge them, let them be there, and show gratitude for everything, always. Use gratitude to redirect your thinking. Use gratitude to stay in control of your reaction. One of my favorite things that I've heard lately, my husband and I, thanks to my mother-in-law, when she was here at the beginning of July, introduced us to a show on Netflix called Kim's Convenience, and it is hilarious. It is now added to one of our like, you know, binge watching, just play it when we're doing other stuff, right? You have like Family Guy and Bob's Burgers and like those types of shows that just play while you're doing stuff, right? Now we've added Kim's Convenience to that, and we've gone through the whole thing like 4 times, 5 times, maybe even more. But it's hilarious. And one of the things that happens in that show is that, I don't want to give it all away because I want you to go watch it because it's so funny. But one of the things that happens in that show is that there's a mother and a father, and the daughter is, you know, dating and going through relationships and breakups and questioning sexuality and all of those kinds of things. And so she ends up in a relationship with a guy that she later finds out is engaged and about to get married. And like, he was engaged the whole time that they were seeing each other. And so there's this really powerful scene where she's telling him how she feels, and she starts to cry because she's angry, right? Because she's found out that this person that she has a relationship and a connection with has been engaged to someone else, right? And so she's angry and she starts to cry, and she looks at him and she says, "These tears are not for you." And when I heard that, I was like, yes, queen, because you can be emotional, you can cry, you can show your feeling, you can show your emotion, whatever that emotion is, even if it's crying while you're angry, and it doesn't have to be in someone else's box. And then the dad steps up and lets him have it too, gives him a piece of his mind, and he starts to get teary-eyed, and he looks at him and says, and these tears are not for you either. And I was like, yes, because you can be emotional. You can show your anger, your passion, your sadness, your happiness, your joy. You can have those emotions and show them whatever it looks like for you without feeling like you have to apologize for it. Don't put those emotions into those boxes in your brain. Use gratitude to express how grateful you are that you can feel emotion and still be in control of your mind. Use gratitude to redirect your mind, feel those emotions, unbox them, acknowledge them, don't apologize for them, and use gratitude always to change your mood. I promise you it will help. That is why I created the gratitude silos, to help me out. And that is why it's one of the 3 most important parts of the Daily Drive. And we talk about it every single Wednesday, because gratitude literally and physically changes the chemical makeup of your brain. And as we are becoming unlimited and unlimiting the boxes in our minds, we are using gratitude the whole way to stay in control of those emotions and be on top of what we want to be on top of. I feel emotions, y'all. If it's sadness, I let myself be sad for a little while. My period and ovulation cycles are crazy hormones because of the uterine fibroid, and so I feel those emotions. It's a roller coaster. I feel those emotions. I don't try to stuff them down in a box, because that just causes more anxiety. So don't apologize for your feelings. That's the #1 thing that I see all the time on interviews. I've done it. You've done it. Friends have done it. We're showing some sort of emotion, and our first go-to is to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stop. Don't apologize for your emotions. Feel those emotions, allow yourself to unbox them, unlimit them, and use gratitude to stay grateful all along the way and to keep those happy hormones flowing in your body. I still have some 30-day packs of the Daily Drive left for y'all. It's printed in black and white. This is an absolutely free resource. You can message me and I can send it to you. It'll be dropped in the comments when I get off of here. It is on my website. But if you want your own, if you don't have a way to print it, if you want one of these for every day, whatever, and you want to Venmo me $5 to help me with ink and paper and postage and all of that, you can get your own 30-day pack printed in black and white where you can do a new Daily Drive every single day. I have a few left, so let me know if you're interested in that. Check out dailydrivecoaching.com. Do me a favor, scroll all the way down to where it says subscribe, put your email address in, and then hit the subscribe or submit button, and you're going to get content from me, daily blog posts, ways to unlimit your mind, ways to grow, all kinds of fun stuff. You can see all of my services and retail on there. If you're not part of my Becoming Unlimited Facebook group, you can search for Becoming Unlimited or let me know and I'll add you. It is not a sales platform by any means, and we have specific rules in the group. It is just a free community of support where you get the Daily Drive, other content, and other people to connect with, because you are never alone on your mental health and personal growth and life journeys. If you are watching this on YouTube, do me a favor and hit subscribe and hit the little bell, turn on notifications. I've got all kinds of content coming to YouTube that goes beyond the Daily Drive, goes into other things that I'm passionate about. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications. I will never ask for any fee for what I do here on social media. All I ask is that you help me spread mental health awareness by subscribing to all of my things, liking, tagging friends, sharing, engaging, doing all the social media things with me so that the word about mental health and breaking the stigma continues to grow. Your mental health is just part of your health. It's just as important as your everyday health, and there are so many aspects that are included with it. Gratitude is such a major part of that. So stop apologizing for your emotions. Stop apologizing when you feel sad, when you feel the need to cry. Stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize for your emotions. You can unbox them, unlimit them, feel them, and use gratitude to redirect and stay in control. Always use gratitude to redirect through the day. Y'all, I intentionally wake up thinking about gratitude, intentionally go to sleep thinking about gratitude. When I take a nap throughout the day, I intentionally start thinking about gratitude. When I'm driving, I intentionally start thinking about gratitude, because it just works all of that up in your body, those hormones that are associated with joy, bliss, and calm. Imagine if you're just already calm when things start to happen throughout your day. You can make that happen for you by practicing gratitude often. So stop apologizing for your emotions and your expressions of your emotions. Unlimit those feelings. Feel those feelings. Acknowledge them. Show gratitude and use gratitude to redirect. I love y'all so much. Remember to check out dailydrivecoaching.com. Subscribe and come back for some more ears. Last few pairs left is coming up. I love you so much. I will see you soon.